3021. And oh yeah, don't forget, use their convenient drive-through window for your prescription needs.
We're back here from RS Central High School. Back in the studio, they say they can hear us, so we're going to continue with this Bill Shuford Heating and Air pregame show. Having a little bit of problem with the internet signal over here at RS Central High School, so if you do happen to lose us for a little bit, we'll be right back as soon as we can. I tell you that I've turned down the output settings, so the video quality might not be as good as it could be, but we're going to do our best, so just bear with us as we're kind of in a little cave here where we don't have very good internet service. But anyway, on this Bill Shuford Heating and Air pregame show, we're going to tell you a little bit about Burns coming in at a record at 8-2, and Matthew looking to bounce back from that game at Shelby last week, where we only had 17 yards rushing.
Well, tonight will be a definite tune-up for the playoffs. Hopefully they can rebound. They rebounded well after the Shelby loss against Drone, so hopefully we can see the same thing tonight.
And, you know, all year long, Burns has run the ball very effectively. Last week, Miguel Burris got hurt that elbow, couldn't go at tailback. Also had a problem with Aaron Hill's ankle. They were down to the third tailback. And they moved up C.J. Hopper for tonight, who's seen his first varsity action since week 1, way back in August, almost 3 months ago. So it'll be interesting to see if we have the chemistry, the continuity between C.J. Hopper, who's been playing JV ball all year, and Cameron Barbie.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I think the defensive front will be key tonight for Burns as RS Central is a predominantly run team. Most of their plays and most of their big yardage has come on the ground, so don't expect to see much of an air attack from RS Central tonight. So I think that defensive front will be key for Burns tonight if we can stop that run game.
Yeah, Burns likes to get things done on the ground. You know, they've got 1,800 yards on the year on the ground. But if we look at this RS Central team, they sure like to run the ball too. They've got over 2,400 yards on the ground, and they're led by their senior Tate, who's averaging about 94 yards a game, almost at 1,000 yards. Simmons averaging about 57 yards a game. So you look at Tate's got almost 1,200 combined yards. So they're going to run a lot of things through their senior tailback. Their quarterback's just a sophomore, averaging 6 pass attempts per game. 6. So
pretty incredible.
You're going to see a lot of wing tee, a lot of power football from these Hilltoppers tonight. But it seems like, you know, they've been pretty successful with it. They come in at a record at 5-5, and we talked about the disappointing loss to Crest last week for Burns. RS Central coming off a similar disappointing loss. They lost 7-0 in overtime to their arch rival East Rutherford.
Absolutely. Well, it's not sure if RS will make the playoffs or not, but it's their last game of the year, and they're going to come out and fight. You know, they have nothing to lose. A lot of these seniors, it's their last game, so they're going to come out and play some ball tonight.
They did have their senior. Yeah, they did have their senior presentation, so they've got that out of the way here. They did that early, and you know, if we look at Burns, you know, Burns probably going to make the playoffs. It's more of a question of are they going to get a high seed or low seed?
Yeah.
And we got a mess here in the South, the South Mountain 3A part of it. You know, you've got Crest beating Burns, Burns beating Kings Mountain, Kings Mountain beating Crest. So you've got a kind of a log jam up there in the conference. So, you know, what's going to happen with Crest and Shelby tonight? You know, Shelby's the favorite. That doesn't mean anything. That's a rivalry game. If you want to flip back and forth, that one's also on KTC. Broadcasting.com if you want to check out Crest versus Shelby. But that's a rivalry game. You never know what's going to happen. If Crest wins that, they'll be the outright 3A champ in the South Mountain, and they're going to get the highest seed. If they don't, then you're going to have Crest with 2 conference losses, and then Burns with a couple of conference losses. So head-to-head, Burns beat Crest, so it's going to be, you know, it could be messy in that playoff when they're trying to decide who's going to get in the playoffs and at the higher seed. You know, and the higher seed's advantageous. You get your home game, maybe 2 home games.
Absolutely.
You definitely don't want to be riding circuit in the playoffs if you don't have to.
Well, I think they could probably still get a home field first round if they're not the top seed, but we'll just have to see how that plays out. Not look ahead to the playoffs, obviously. We got a big game tonight against RS, and hopefully we can come away with a W tonight.
And what would concern me is Burns against the running game, because we saw Crest have a lot of success in their running game, and now you've got this RS Central team, and that's what they like to do. So hopefully they're going to shore up their run defense tonight. You know, I was talking to some of the coaches. They've talked about the issues they had out of that power football formation when Crest was running that Wildcat, and Burns didn't have much of an answer for it, and they threw out of it once, and that really hurt us bad. So you talk a team like RS Central who really runs the football well, and then they can hit you with that little pass that goes for a long way. So I'm sure the coaches have discussed that with the players and got them prepared for that tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a dogfight tonight. Like I say, RS Central don't have anything to lose. They're going to leave it all out on the field, and it's going to be a good one here tonight.
So if you look at RS Central's defensively, they're pretty opportunistic. 26 takeaways, 15 interceptions. Norris, the senior, has 10 interceptions.
That's pretty incredible.
Burns is led by B.J. Hopper with 6. And I think I've got Burns for 23 takeaways on the year. So 2 pretty opportunistic defenses here.
Well, it's kind of like what we was talking about at Drone. A lot of their guys had a lot of defensive stats, a lot of tackles. Kind of just shows you their defense is out on the field a lot, maybe a lot more so than their offense. So maybe shows your offense is struggling a little bit. Just kind of gives a little insight to their team. But
yeah, their leading tackler, I saw, it's kind of surprising. Their leading tackler had 107 tackles.
That's pretty incredible.
I mean, that is just
that would stack up against anybody in the conference, I would imagine.
That jumped out at me as quite of impressive, and that's Johnson, the junior, playing linebacker with 107 tackles. The way they calculate it, though, on Max Preps is they combine the solo and assist. So in 10 games, he has 31 to solo and 76 assists on tackles. So that kid's flying to the football.
Wow.
And they've got a number of others that are pretty high in the number of tackles they made. But, last week not scoring any points. The defense is out on the field a lot. So hopefully Burns can get their game going with a sophomore tailback and a C.J. Hopper, who I said hadn't played in almost 3 months on the varsity.
Well, that'll be key to see how Barbie and C.J. play with each other, whether they can get their timing down pat. So that'll be key for the Bulldogs tonight.
Okay, so playing the national anthem, we're going to step away and show you some commercial. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Medical Arts Pharmacy is your locally owned independent hometown pharmacy. Unlike the big chain stores, Medical Arts Pharmacy calls you by name and treats you like family and friends, not a number. Medical Arts has more National Board certified technicians and personnel than other pharmacies to keep down your waiting time on prescriptions. Online refills at medicalartsofshelby.com. Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street near the hospital in Shelby. Call 704-487-8068.
Kick off the savings at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby. Check out their huge selection of late model pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Ask about how you can buy here, pay here at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby. Visit the website for the complete inventory at srautosales.com. And pick up this week's What's Up Shopper and play the S&R Auto Sales Sports Trivia. You could win a free meal from the new Creekside Clock. That's S&R Auto Sales, 408 South Post Road in Shelby, the home of the satisfied customer.
It's like you're watching it at home.
All right, we're back. Tom Centofanti and Matt Royster here with you. Sorry, we had the national anthem going on. As I said, we're kind of in a little cave here, and we didn't hear the band music too well being between this glass and plus with the microphones on. So
can't hear too much of anything up here besides us.
Yeah, you can't hear too much of anything. I'm surprised somebody didn't come in here and bang on the door and let us know. I think it's time for some players to watch, and that's going to be brought to you from West End Sales. And West End Sales up there on Highway 18 North. See them for your lawn, garden, and farm needs. So thank you, West End Sales, for supporting Burns High School football. I think I'm going to go with my player to watch. I think I'm going with B.J. Hopper. Haven't seen B.J. catch a deep pass in a while, but he did have that electric punt return return last year. He's got last week against Crest, which kept us in the ball game, which tied things up late. And then, especially his defense leading the team in interceptions with 6 interceptions. Want to see if BJ can maybe get a big play and get Burns ahead, get a big play early and get Burns ahead in this ball game.
Well, that big playmaking ability is there, and I would expect to see Burns jump on quick and try to exploit the R Central defense. They do give up a lot of points. I would expect Barbie to test his secondary of RS and jump on quick.
So BJ could take it the distance. So I look for some big plays for Burns to get themselves back on the right track after a not so great offensive performance last week. And to tell you how it wasn't all that electric last week, especially once Aaron Hill went down. Cameron Barbie, who's still taking good care of the football, who only has 2 interceptions all year. But if you look at the passing stats from last week, he only had 83 yards passing. And 89 yards passing. Did have a touchdown pass, but only 89 yards passing, 12 of 22. No turnovers, didn't turn the ball over. But want to get a little bit more production out of him tonight. Now, you mentioned RS Central's kind of been their defense a little hot and cold. Maybe last week they played pretty well, only gave up 7 points, and that in overtime. But I don't think we're quite see the caliber of defense that we saw last week in the Crest Chargers.
Well, you can't judge those stats by that game because, like I say, Crest defense is extraordinary. They're a championship caliber defense, and it proved it in our stat book because we're obviously capable of putting up more numbers than that. So hopefully we can rebound from that, learn from our mistakes, and that's the key. I mean, learn from your mistakes and carry that into this last game in the postseason. So hopefully this will be a good tune-up for the postseason. They can try some things they hadn't tried before maybe this year, and hopefully we can get a comfortable lead and are able to do that. But we'll have to see how it goes tonight.
Now defensively, want to see how Nate Black, TJ Roberts, Stormy Mostetler, those guys up front need to take care of the run. Need to stop that, because if you can stop the run, you can definitely stop RS Central.
Right.
They're not much of a threat to throw the football, but definitely they're going to try to get their running game going. So our front 4 versus their offensive line, plus Bryson Allen and that linebacking core, putting a clamp on that running game. That's definitely going to be an early game within the game, because if we can control that line of scrimmage, RS Central really one-dimensional. So you want to whip them up front. And as I said, I expect to see a lot of 8, 9, 10 guys in the box when you know they're going to run. You know they've watched the films. You know they're going to run. So I'd like to see us win that early battle. And then I'd like to see Austin Birch, Noah Sanders, and our big guys up front make some holes for C.J. Hopper. C.J.'s inexperienced at the varsity level, has played a lot of JV ball, but our offensive line has got to play a little extra hard and help him out a little bit as he's getting his feet wet. His first varsity action, but they told me he was ready to go yesterday at practice.
Oh, I'm sure he's excited.
Laser focused and ready to go and practicing hard. So really, I'm pulling for C.J. Hopper. And if you want to throw another West End player to watch, I think it's definitely C.J., because Burns with only 17 yards rushing last week. If you make Burns one-dimensional, I don't think our passing game alone is good enough to beat a lot of teams. We like to run first, and that sets up our pass. So we'll see what goes on, how this works out with C.J. Hopper in there at tailback. So some games within the games to be watching. It's going to be a good one here from RS Central High School here in Rutherford County. We're hearing something over the speakers. Not sure what that is. We're going to step away for just a moment, bring a few messages from our sponsor, and hopefully we'll be right about to kick off. You're listening to the Bill Schufert Heating and Air pregame show, and as always, Burns High School football is brought to you by the Renato Automall.
Oh no, it's total mayhem.
Hurry! Call your good neighbor.
You can't. They're not even there.
Why, they can't even lend a good hand. Oh. Relax. At Pegram Insurance, we've got you covered. Pegram Insurance Agency, 220 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and in the Town and Country Shopping Center in Lincoln. Do you know what Putnam Distributors sells? Auto parts, truck parts, stuff for all sorts of equipment, plus 25 brands of motor oil, hydraulic fluids, filters, batteries, even nuts and bolts, and all at low, low prices. Putnam Distributors is located in downtown Patterson Springs, just 5 minutes from Kmart and the Cleveland Mall. Go south on Highway 226 or Highway 180 and just follow the signs. Putnam's prices are low on everything and for everybody. Call 704-487-9395 or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com. For ATV riders who ride red, we know what you're dreaming about. That's why we're bringing you the Honda Dream Garage Sales event. You'll find deals on just about all things Honda, so you can start filling your garage with everything you had hoped for, like the Honda 4Trax Rancher ATV. Right now, you can get as low 2.99% fixed APR financing on all 4Trax Rancher models, plus up to $500 in bonus bucks on selected models. So come on down to Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. You've got a garage to fill.
All right, we're getting ready to have the coin toss here. What you see on the screen is brought to you by Jalen Smith and her friend Leanna Nettles helping her out on the camera tonight. So we appreciate you girls bringing this. We were talking when we were away, the Kings Mountain is at East Burke tonight. That should be a win. That's going to put them at 6-2 in the conference. Burns wins tonight. They're 6-2 in the conference. Crest wins tonight, okay? They'll be 7-1 in the conference, and they're the conference champs by virtue of beating Shelby head-to-head. Shelby expected to win, but in a rivalry game, you just never know. Shelby be 8-0, they're perfect. A Shelby victory means you've got Crest with 2 losses, you've got Burns with 2 losses, and you got Kings Mountain with 2 losses. Who's going to get the top seat?
Well, that we've all beaten each other. Like Crest beat Burns, Burns beat Kings Mountain beat Crest. So that throws a monkey wrench in that, don't it, Tom? I don't know, not sure how that works out.
You can't get there and say, all right, well, yeah. Crest beat Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain beat Crest, so they get the no, because Burns beat Kings Mountain. Well, Crest beat Burns. I mean, you really have. Yeah. I got a mess.
Yep.
So it's going to be, shall we say, interesting to see where they seed these 3 teams. If they're all 6-2, assuming they all get in, which I expect they all will get in.
Assuming Burns wins tonight.
Assuming Burns wins tonight, and assuming Kings Mountain wins tonight, and assuming Crest loses tonight. If Crest wins, it puts all that to rest.
Yep.
They're a game ahead of Kings Mountain and Burns, and then Burns, by virtue of the head-to-head victory over Kings Mountain, that scenario is a little simpler.
Yeah.
But
what you don't want to do for any of those teams is look ahead to that. You got to focus on tonight, the task at hand. So
Matthew, this is one of the strangest scenes. We have the RS Central kickoff team already on the field, and the Burns team running onto the field now, which is a little weird.
I'm not sure what the delay was. They were standing there for 10 minutes and didn't run in.
Not sure what that's about. But we're going to record, and now hopefully we'll be able to stay with you as long as we can here. If we do go out, just remember that we're in a little cave here, and the internet signal sometimes a little unpredictable. So what I've done is turned our output settings down. I'm sorry, that does make the video a little less quality, but it ensures that it's a little more stable. So we're going to have a kickoff here. Looks like Burns is going to receive. They're in the whites. RS Central in the dark blues if you're watching on ktcbroadcasting.com. And again, if you have any technical difficulties, a lot of you can get a hold of me via my cell phone, 692-4183, or email me at tsenafani@clevelandcountyschools.com. And if you're watching at home, use one of those to let me know if we're coming in clear. Here comes the kickoff. It's a little squid kick, and one of the Burns Up men's going to fall on it, and not sure who that was, but that was a smart thing to do. It looks like 18, Keith Irvin, gets on it, so it's going to be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from their own 25.
And Keith Irvin is a former RS Central Hilltopper, too, so expect a big game from Keith. Be out here trying to impress his old team. So that's somebody else to watch tonight.
Actually played quarterback for them. He's on defense primarily and on a backup quarterback. Now there's Cameron Barbie, and there's the young man, C.J. Hopper, who's got some big shoes to fill, as Aaron Hill and Miguel Burris both are not able to carry the football tonight. Epps coming in motion, looks like it'll be a little jet sweep, and he's got a little room on the right side. He's breaking free, and he's over the 45-yard line, so give him about 20 yards. That's a Pegram Insurance first down, Matthew.
That was an excellent run by Epps around the outside, little jet sweep, got around the corner, had some good blocking by his offensive line, and was able to get a first down almost at midfield, around about the 46-yard line.
Give him about 25, 26 yards on that first carry.
It's a good way to start the game for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it is. Barbie in the shotgun, double wide receivers left, and Hopper's going to get his first carry, and he is introduced to varsity football by a hard hit. Looks like number 6 and some others got him down there.
Yeah, that was Ramon Rodriguez for RS Central on the hit. I think he might have lost a couple on the play.
He did lose about a yard or two, which is going to bring up 2nd 11. That's maybe where we see Epps on the first carry trying to take a little pressure off CJ, making him think, well, we might run around the ends on you. Hopefully that'll loosen things up for CJ. And here comes Epps again, and it worked the first time, and it's going to work the second time as Epps is still on his feet. He's breaking free. He's at the 30. He's at the 20, and finally he's forced out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. That's another Pegram Insurance first down.
Well, exact same play that they ran 2 plays ago. Around the outside corner, again, good blocks. Brought down by Brandon Smith by RS Central. Almost broke that one. If it wasn't for Smith's late tackle, that would have been in the end zone for the Bulldogs.
So a couple of runs over to the right, and already Burns has almost tripled its rushing statistics from last week. And Barbie's going to hand it to CJ. Now CJ's got a little crease, and he runs hard and runs over a RS Central Hilltopper. He got give him about 7 yards on that carry.
An excellent run up the middle for CJ. Good run to get him some confidence. Got about 7 yards on the play.
4 plays, all rushing plays for Burns. And they've had the ball about a minute and a half, and they're already knocking on the door. Barbie's in the shotgun, and he's going to give it to Hopper again. No, to keep it himself, and he's met by about 3 Hilltoppers. Looks like number 5 and number 20 got the tackle.
That's Nate Hadley and Tyler Simmons on the tackle for RS. They read that pretty well. Barbie, I think, dropped a couple on the play.
Jack Willis out. Titus Toms in. It looks like they're bringing in another wide receiver. And Barbie's doing a little sugar huddle there. He's got C.J. Hopper with him. He's got double wide receivers to the left and the right. No motion this time as Barbie's going to try to keep it himself, and he's not going to get the first down, Matthew. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Interesting play call there. I would have expected some sort of pass on the play, but Barbie kept it. The exact same play as previous, and same result. Loss of a yard or 2.
6 plays on this drive. It's 4th and about 7, and Coach Devine leaving the offense out on the field. So 4th and 6. Are they going to run this play? And looks like they are. Got a man in motion. That's Pryor, and Barbie's going to throw it, and he's going to run around to the left side. He's being chased. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. So they got him at about the 4.5, and looking at the stick over there, it's on the 4-yard line. So Barbie's going to come up short and turn it over on downs.
Well, I would have liked to seen that play, the previous play. It looks like he was about a yard short. He almost got around the left side before he ran out of bounds and was brought out of bounds by 2 RS Central defenders. But at least we got him pinned deep. But you'd have liked to see some points on the board on that play.
Definitely want to see points on the board out of that drive. Now Burns going with 5 linemen. They call this their bear front, and somebody got in. And that's big Stormy Mostetler with a tackle for loss on the first play as he knifed through and got off the block and put him down.
Like Tyler Simmons, a ball carrier for RS, but Stormy Mostetler met him with authority.
So Stormy able to cross his man's face and got into the backfield.
So I think they knew it was coming there, Tom.
Yep. RS Central does like to run the ball. So let's see.
Only 1 wide receiver, so yeah.
So they're definitely in a power formation. Look like a quarterback keeper. Did they get him for a safety? Looks like he might have got out of the end zone. Fumble on the snap is what they're saying over the PA.
I tell you, he was very lucky to get out of the end zone on that play. It looked like from up here it was going to be a safety, but looked like he's about at the 1 foot line. So
the edge of that ball is scraping up against the goal line, and it's going to be third and about. They don't have it up on the board. I got to eyeball it. Looks like at about 3rd and 15 for the Hilltoppers, who the last thing I think are going to do are going to throw it here. I think they're just going to try to run it straight ahead, maybe sneak and get the punter some room. It's a straight ahead handoff. Bryson Allen and some others are there to stop that. So it's going to be 4th and long, and the punting unit comes in for RS Central. Why they're in trouble, Matthew, the punter's not going to have his usual 15 yards.
absolutely, this is a big threat to be blocked. Well, they actually give him a couple yards, come out to the 2-yard line, so that's a little bit more help. But
Well, we saw some Christmas decorations in Spindle on the way over, so Christmas came early with that spot. And the kick, and it's not a thing of beauty, but it's going to turn out great. And Quan Pry's going to pick it up around the 48, and he's going to dance around and get to about the 41. But that ends up being about a 46-yard punt. Looked like a rugby-style type punt, pretty ugly, but effective.
not a bad punt from where they were at. So, RS Central fortunate that they got it where it is. So
Burns, after coming away empty, and RS goes 3 and out on their first possession. They actually lost 5 yards, or maybe a yard or 2 after they gave them that generous spot, but they still lost yardage on that first possession as the Burns defense stood up. Got the ball back for their offense in plus territory at about the 41. C.J. Hopper, the lone back. Now Titus Toms. Now they got split backs, and Toms is going to get it around the right side, and he's got a little running room, about 5 or 6 yards. Good gain on first down. So they like something on the right side. They're running a lot of sweeps of there. Epps twice, and now we see the track star Toms.
yeah, they gained about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Yeah, like you say, they must see a weakness on that right side that they're trying to exploit, because about every running play has gone to that side, and they've been effective. They've gotten positive yards from that side. So
Double wide receivers left and right. Barbie in the shotgun again, and the young man C.J. Hopper is going to get it again. And tell you what, he kept the legs churning forward. He didn't get the first, but maybe got 3 or 4, which sets up about 3rd and 2.
yeah, he's about a yard or 2 short. It's a pretty good run for the most part by Hopper.
He kept the legs going forward. That's the main thing. And it's taking care of the football. That's another good thing. We've seen some clean exchanges.
It's like we got Miguel Burris in the game.
That's Miguel Burris. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I'm happy or scared that he's in there. And it looks like they got the RS Central folks to jump offside. So that's going to be a first down for Burns via the penalty.
Well, there's your answer. They got Miguel out of the game now. More or less use him as a decoy. Whether they were going to intend to run him or not, I don't know. But C.J. Hopper back in the game for Burns at tailback.
So we've seen Burns run every play. The only pass play was a Cameron Barbie scramble. So Cameron Barbie yet to put it in the air yet. He's got double wide receiver. Ooh, look like a Burns wide receiver left early. They don't call it. And here comes, I think, who is that?
That's Hopper. Yep.
So C.J. Hopper's best run of the night there. It's going to be close to a first down. Give him about 7 or 8.
I like what I see from Hopper so far. He's not been.
Oh, they're going to give him a first down. They're moving the sticks.
Yeah, Hopper's running the ball well. He's being patient. He's trying to find his holes. He's not trying to make something out of nothing. He's being patient and is making some very good runs out there. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from CJ. So we got Miguel back in the game now.
So Burris back in, and Epps and Moe. We've seen him get it twice, and he's going to get it again around the right side, and he's knifing his way through, and he might got 2 or 3. So I think the RS Central defense is saying, fool us a couple times, but not that time. Short gain, maybe got a yard or 2.
Yeah, good job, Zion Carson for RS Central making the tackle. He's made 2 or 3 tackles out here tonight, so Zion Carson's playing well so far for RS.
So now we've got about 2nd and 9 from Burns inside the red zone from about the 14-yard line, and fake to Burris, and Barbie's going to put it up, and he's got a man, but he underthrew him. He had a couple of guys there, Epps, and it looked like Jack Willis was out there in the pattern.
It looks like Epps may have turned the wrong shoulder. It looks like Barbie threw it to his left shoulder, and Epps turned to the inside to his right. And so it fell a little bit short of him. So I think that might have been what happened on that play.
Well, Barbie, the right-hander, it's a little harder to throw moving to your left,
Yeah.
and that's what he was doing.
Yep.
So he's a little off the mark that time, but not bad shape. But Burns needs to get something here on 3rd and 8 as their last drive inside the red zone stalled. And that's going to be a procedure penalty against Burns. And the referees are going to talk about it. Not sure what he's got. And that's a procedure. Look like a false start against Burns, so that'll back him up 5.
Well, that's not what you want to see early on as penalties, but hopefully we can correct that and not be an issue tonight.
So each team with a 5-yard penalty on this drive, but this puts Burns in a difficult 3rd and 13 with Barbie in the shotgun. And he's got the football, and he's looking over to his left, and he's got a man off his hands. He had a man, and it hit him in the hands. It might not have been a perfect pass, but maybe should have been caught out there. And now it brings up 4th and 13, and I guess Coach Devine's going to leave the offense out on the field again.
It's like the pass was intended for Jahari Mitchell. I think Barbie may have put a little too much zip on that ball.
Number 2, Jaron Hamrick, isn't it?
You are correct. This roster from Max Preps has 2 number 2s on the roster.
Yeah. All right, so we got 4th and 13, and here we go. We're going for it again, and Barbie's back, and he's going to get sacked. No, he got away temporarily, and he tried to throw it out there in the flat. So Cameron Barbie, they did not call grounding because B.J. Hopper was in the area, but that's definitely not what you want. 2 trips into the red zone and don't come away with anything.
Yeah, Ramon Rodriguez and Zion Carson had Barbie wrapped up. Barbie very fortunate to get rid of the ball, so heads up play on his part, but good job of those Hilltopper defenders of getting to Barbie, though.
So another change of possession. So Burns gets a couple of first down, but then turns it over on downs again. And now we're going to a little pitch play, and they're going to blow it dead. And it's going to be procedure against RS Central, which will back them up 5.
Again, another run play by RS. So that's we pretty much called that. There's not much in their playbook for passing, and that's kind of what we're seeing so far here tonight.
The coaches for Burns call this 5-man front their bear front. And expecting run from RS Central, expect to see 5 guys down there all night.
Well, you only got 1 wide receiver that kind of tips your hat as to what's coming. So,
and we got Epps in there creeping up to the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get in there. And now a little bit of running room, which shuts down pretty quickly. Maybe got most of the penalty yardage back. Looked like Jaron Hamrick and a couple others were in there to stop. Maybe number 30, T.J. Roberts, was in there as well.
Yeah, Tyrese Tate was on the carry for RS, and he's the guy. He's our main rusher. Has almost 1,000 yards on the season for RS, so he's pretty much our workhorse for RS Central.
So it's going to be 2nd down and about 11, as RS Central staying with that. Man, it's going to be another procedure penalty against RS Central. Just thinking about that. Oh, it's offside against Burns.
Yeah, it looks like Nate Black a little bit offsides over on that right side. He was thinking he was tipped off, so I think he may have done that intentionally, thinking they could get the penalty called, but nonetheless, they didn't call it.
So both teams with 10 yards in penalties, a couple of penalties each.
Burns has done a pretty decent job so far this year of not, having a lot of penalty yards.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
So we've got 2nd down and 6. And RS Central in that wing T, and they're going to sweep it around to their right. And it got a little room this time. And it looks like that's going to be RS Central's first down of this ball game, depending on the spot. Looks like it's a spot over the 30. Yeah, that's going to be a first down.
Tyrese Tate showing some speed on the play. Outran Epps, and I think Miguel Burris around that outside corner. So Tyrese Tate's got some speed on him.
Yeah, he's their leading
Got some
rusher,
wheels.
I believe, with nearly
Yep.
1,000 yards coming in.
Yep.
So it's going to be first down for RS Central. And is that Tate going to get the ball again?
No, that's Austin Dorsey.
Dorsey's going to get the ball maybe a yard, as it looked like maybe that was Bryson Allen and some others over there to put a quick end to that. 2nd and 9 coming up for RS Central.
Still haven't seen a pass play yet. So we've ran roughly 12 plays. No pass play so far yet for the Hilltoppers.
And don't expect to see many, as they're averaging maybe 6 pass plays per game, about 4 completions per game. So Burns still in that bare front, expecting run, and they're going, oh, here comes a pass, and Miguel Burris is after him, and he's giving chase, and a good job just to get rid of it, as Miguel Burris was bearing down on the quarterback for RS Central, number 8. Last name?
Waddell, Jaden Waddell for RS, yes.
Waddell was running for his life as Miguel was after him. So good job by Burris. Doesn't get the sack, but the QB hurry causes the incompletion.
Well, as soon as we said there wasn't a pass intent, we had one. Was read well by this Bulldog defense.
Well, look at this. Now they got triple wide receivers right, and they're going to throw it again, and Waddell's going to get rid of it, and it looked like Kawan Pryor might have had a break on the ball.
Pryor was closed on that quick, wasn't he?
Number 1 was the intended receiver for RS Central.
Well, I spoke too soon. They had 2 passing plays in a row there.
Yeah.
But,
number 1 for RS Central? Who we got there?
yeah, Spencer Norris.
Was the intended receiver. So Pryor and Hopper back to receive the punt, as after 1 first down, RS Central's got a punt. And BJ's got it. Oh, he bobbled the ball. Just get on it, BJ! And maybe BJ got back on it. Yeah, he did.
I'll tell you, BJ was very fortunate to land on that ball. It looks like he might. Well, I'm not sure what he was trying to do on the play. I can't tell if he was trying to scoop it up, but he didn't land on it as quick as he should have, I don't think.
It looked like
very fortunate.
It looked like he might have taken his eye off just a little bit, looking for a big return, as that was a returnable punt.
I think he was looking at the end zone on that
Yeah.
play. I was thinking back to last week when he returned one.
Well, 1st and 10 for Burns on their 3rd possession of the game. Both of the first possessions were red zone possessions that didn't come away with any points. And now we've got Barbie in the shotgun who's going to put it up. He's got Epps, who's been busy tonight. We've called his name out. He bulls ahead. About a 12-yard gain, and that'll be a Pegram Insurance first down.
I tell you what, Epps is having a ball game so far. All-purpose yards. He's really racking up the yards here tonight. He's made several big plays.
Well, with no Aaron Hill, you got to lean on Epps and Toms and some of these other guys.
That's just somebody to watch. Looks like he's up against a 5'9" defender, so.
Hopper's going to get it to the left, and he's got a little crease, and I tell you what, Hopper does a lot of BYOB, be your own blocker.
Right.
I mean, that kid likes to hit people. Effective run there of about 6 yards.
He's a strong kid. Shows some little Aaron Hill in him. He's got some definite potential there for C.J. Hopper.
Triple wide receivers right. Looks like it's Toms and Pryor out there to the right, and Barbie's going to quickly fire it and threw a little bit behind Pryor, but Pryor a little upset with himself. Probably knows he should have had it.
Well, DeMarcus Johnson for RS Central was closing on him fast, and might have saw him in the corner of his eye. Might have affected the outcome of that throw.
Yeah, when they're bearing down on you a little bit, it does tend to make you a little nervous. Now, here we go again. 3rd down. Burns has not converted a 3rd down as of yet. And Barbie's going to keep it and go around to his right before he's met, and he's going to be stopped about 2 yards short. It was a good job by the RS Central defender to get Barbie on the ground.
And that's Zion Carson again. We've called his name 2 or 3 times. And just by looks, man, it looks like he's a ball player, Tom. He's been in on 4 or 5 tackles at least. Almost had a sack on the last drive against Barbie. So he's somebody they need to keep an eye on.
So it looks like after 1 first down, Burns is going to punt it away, as both punters Because our Central punter's been busy. Now the Burns punter, Austin Edwards, is Bailey Burns, the starting punter, went down with an injury. So Austin Edwards getting a chance to get his foot into the ball. Good snap. Low punt, end over end, but it's going to roll inside the 20 and come to a stop at about the 18-yard line. So we're going to have a change of possession here. RS Central definitely been backed up most of this game, but Burns not able to cash in on its pretty good field position so far.
Yeah, let's see what RS Central has in the playbook for this drive. Bulldog defense been pretty stout so far. Haven't allowed them across midfield yet, so let's hope to see the same again on this drive for the Bulldogs.
So RS Central's third possession, first possession 3 and out, second possession 1 first down and a punt. Now they're backed up again. And here's the snap, and they're going to run straight at Burns, and a little bit of running room there, maybe about 4 yards. Simmons on the carry for RS Central. Wasn't sure the Burns defender that brought him down.
Couldn't tell.
Might have been Epps coming up from that safety spot. And Burns is already all around the line of scrimmage. They're expecting a run again as RS Central looks to run that pitch play. Here comes B.J. Hopper up from his corner position, and he read that beautifully, Matthew, as he saw that pitch coming, read the motion man, and cut him down for maybe a yard loss.
Yeah, I tell you, the ball carrier switched directions when Hopper came. I don't think Hopper actually tackled him, but what that did was when he slowed down and shifted to left, that allowed Stormy Mosteller to come around behind and tackle him. So it was a good job on the setup by BJ there.
So good job for BJ reading the play, and that's going to bring us to the end of a very fast-moving first quarter. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be right back. As always, Burns High School football is brought to you by the Renato Auto Mall.
If it's time to spruce up your home, then head to Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. Make your home look like new. See the new display of Larson doors, plus stair spindles by Crown Heritage. And for those patios and porch areas, Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby has Trex flooring. Put it down and forget it. Plus all the tools you'll need if you're a do-it-yourselfer. Your home projects begin and end with a stop at Cleveland Lumber Company, 217 Airwood Street in Shelby.
All right, we're back. A very fast-moving first quarter that took all of about 22 minutes or so. We didn't have a score. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. It's 0-0 here. We expected a lot of runs and a lot of defense, and we've seen a lot of both. So Burns again in that bare front on a pretty big third down early in this football game. As Central is going to run it right at Burns and going to have close to the first down. He might have just barely got the first down, Matthew.
Looks like he just did get across, you're right. Yeah, it is confirmed, the first down.
So that's RS Central's second first down of the game. And they have just been on the short end of the stick on field position, so they'd love to put together a drive and keep that Burns offense off the field. In case you're just joining us, we're in the second quarter. It's 0-0. As Burns has had 3 possessions, turned it over on downs twice and punted. RS Central 2 possessions before this one and smacked down there. Sorry, I was still talking. That was number 10, and it looked like Nate Black just smacked him to the ground.
Yeah, Austin Dorsey was a ball carrier, but Nate Black come out of nowhere and just leveled Dorsey.
It's going to be about a 3-yard loss. Boy, he hit him hard and took him to the ground.
But, you know, if Black didn't get him, there's 2 or 3 other guys right there to make the tackle, too. So a host of Bulldog defenders around that ball carrier, and that's what you want to see from this Bulldog defense.
So, again, seeing a lot of that wing T style offense. We got a double wing here for RS Central. Now they got to bring a man in motion, but run straight at it. And it looked like a little bit of running room till he smacked into Bryson Allen and put him down about the 31-yard line. And that's going to bring up where RS Central doesn't want to be. They don't want to be in 3 and over 5 yards. You know, that's not the way they're designed.
Yep.
So they have 3rd and 8. And the last couple of times they have put the ball in the air, back-to-back incompletions. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to try another throw. And they've got double wide receivers out there to the right. Triple wide receivers right, Single back. And there's a snap. It's a good snap. Protection holds up. Now Stormy's after him. And Stormy's going to pull him down with one arm. Wow. Sack for Stormy Mostetler.
I was telling Stormy was all come up from behind him fast. And the quarterback tried to turn around and go the other way, but Stormy had other ideas and was able to grab his jersey and sling him down for the big sack for Burns.
So the RS Central quarterback, Waddell, has pulled down. How big is that kid? Do they have his height and weight listed there? Waddell goes 6 foot, 160, the sophomore, and Stormy just reached up and pulled him down with one arm. So there's the punt, and looks like BJ's trying to track it down. What a huge RS Central roll. Now BJ's got it at about the 25, and they say his knee was down.
What?
Wow, they say his knee was down when he picked up the football, so that's going to mark it all the way back to the 21-yard line.
Wow, that's a huge call. I definitely didn't see that.
So that's going to work as around a 50-yard punt. So RS Central's finally flipped this field position. Now it's up to Burns to sustain a drive.
That was an interesting call by the refs. I definitely didn't see where his knee was down.
No, I did not either. But with 9 minutes, 19 seconds left to go, second quarter, Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. It's 0-0 Burns. Burns with the ball for the fourth time. 2 turnover on downs inside the red zone and a punt. And this is their fourth possession. And Barbie's going to give it to C.J. Hopper, who's tough sledding there. He might lose a yard.
Yeah, that was Ramon Rodriguez again for RS Central on the stop.
They might have been generous and gave him half a yard. So that's going to bring up second down and about 9.5 as Barbie's in the shotgun again, little sugar huggle again, and now we get an official's timeout for something. Not sure what this is. As the RS Central coach, I think we got equipment, something with the young man's equipment, number 64 for RS Central. Not sure who that is.
Yes, Kanan Brock. Looks like he has an issue with his face mask.
So Jalen's got the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard up there for you. As you can see, we've almost played 16 minutes, or a little over 15 minutes, and no score. A lot of defense, a lot of running game. So it's second down and 9 for Barbie, who's going to send Pryor in motion, and little trick play, and it was not a clean exchange between Pryor and Toms, and it blew up the play. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a small gain there, but you got to run the trick play. It's got to be smooth, and when the exchange between Pryor and Toms wasn't very good, it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that was ugly from the start, and it was pretty obvious what they were trying to do, and RS Central read that well.
So Burns and Danger are going 3 and out unless they can convert a 3rd and long here. 3rd and 10 yards to go. And Barbie's got the shotgun snap, and he's got time, and he pump fakes, and he's still got time, and he sheds a tackler, and he's got Pryor who came back to the football, and he ran back about 5 yards. Pryor would have had about an extra 7 or 8 yards if he hadn't come back.
He ran back at least 10 yards on the play.
Fortunately, he picks up the Pegram Insurance first down.
Man, you gotta.
Sometimes you get a little too cute, you know? Just run up the field, young man.
He had that ball almost around midfield. Now he's back around the 35-yard line.
Yeah. He definitely ran back a good 6 or 7 yards at least.
Like you say, at least he got the first down, so that's the main thing.
So Burns keeps possession as Cameron Barbie kept that play alive very beautifully. His offensive line did a great job. And it's a little bit of a problem on the exchange there for C.J. Hopper, and that disrupted the timing. Maybe he got, well, they're going to give him 3. But you see, when you got the guy who hasn't played with the varsity in almost 3 months, little things like that happen.
Well, that's always going to be an issue when you haven't played as much together, the continuity between the quarterback and the running back in the exchange. So Haven't fumbled so far, but a little bit shaky so far.
2nd and 3. Barbie in the shotgun again. He's got double wide receivers out there to the left, and Hopper's got a little crease, and there he goes, and he's to midfield. He's still going, and then he just takes on tacklers. Another BYOB there for Hopper as he gets another Pegram Insurance first down. If he doesn't have a blocker, he just runs them over.
Absolutely. He's showing some real good run ability. Did have some good blocks, but there was a couple guys that he did just run over, like you say, on the play. And that gained him the extra, 4 or 5 yards, on the play.
So a couple of first downs on this drive. If I'm looking at the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, we're just under 7 minutes to play. And Byrne, a little high snap. Barbie's going to keep it. He's around the left side, and he's got a decent gain on first down, maybe 3 or 4 yards. But I thought Hopper had the football, but Barbie did a pretty good job of disguising what he was doing there.
Mm-hmm.
And moves it ahead. They're going to give him about 3.
Well, like I say, with the run ability of Barbie, that just kind of keeps the Hilltop defenders, on their feet a little bit about what's coming. Everybody expecting to run, but good that he has that ability.
So Burns' offensive line doing a pretty good job tonight, making some holes there. And B.J. Hopper this time, RS Central read the play and is going to throw B.J. Hopper down for about a 3-yard loss.
That was looks like Tyrese Tate, the running back, was in on defense as well. Was able to make that play.
I'd like to see Cam go to a second read on that, as RS Central kind of had that snuffed out. And a negative play, it undoes the Barbie positive yardage on first down. So another 3rd and long, about 3rd and a little bit more than 10 from the RS Central 45-yard line. And Barbie's going to get the snap, and he's got McClure flaring out, but he doesn't go there. He throws an interception. And that's only the 3rd interception for Barbie this year. I wasn't sure the RS Central defender that had it. He was looking for Epps, but he threw it right to the RS Central defender.
Ramon Rodriguez on the interception for RS. Threw it right to him. Might have been a little miscommunication, a little slant pattern across the middle, and threw it right to Rodriguez and made it look easy.
So that's something we very rarely see Cameron Barbie do, turn the ball over. But RS Central is going to take it over at the 42-yard line. So Burns 4 possessions, a punt, an interception, and 2 turnovers on downs, which keeps the score 0-0 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. RS Central in the shotgun. Now it looks like a little Waddell's on a keeper, and he's into the clear, but it's coming back. There's a penalty flag down there, and Epps hit him about 2 yards out of bounds. He's lucky he didn't get a penalty there, Matthew.
Well, let's see what the penalty flag is.
Pretty sure this is coming back.
It was a good run, nonetheless, by Waddell. Excellent run to get
They
there.
haven't run the keeper yet, and the RS Central in blue marching backwards. And I'm still waiting on a call. Pretty sure it's a hold. Illegal block in the back against RS Central. So both teams trying to get out of their own way right now, Matthew.
Yeah. Well, penalties will kill you. I mean, can't win many ball games committing penalties like that. And it's unfortunate for them. It come on a huge run by Waddell.
So RS Central's best play offensively negated by the illegal block in the back. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 20 yards to go. A little under 6 minutes left to go on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. And Waddell's going to try to throw it. Nate Black's after him. Nate Black's going to get him down on the ground for about a 7-yard loss, and he's pumped up about it, Matthew.
Waddell almost got away from him, but Nate Black was able to get a hand on his jersey and bring him down for the big sack for Burns.
So that's going to be 2nd down and about to Forest City for a first down.
It's going to be a long way.
It's a long way. So Central coming up to the line. It looks like Waddell's helping. He's running back there with an equipment issue, number 11. Wide receiver, excuse me. Waddell's barking out some signals. He's got it. He's looking. And looked like we had a guy on a blitz, and the wide receiver dropped the football. Looked like we had Stormy or somebody who was in his face.
And Nate Black was coming in hard on Waddell.
And there's another yellow hanky on the ground.
It's a good pass by Waddell, intended for Smith, but Smith just dropped it.
Maybe a
numbers.
touch low, but it hit him in the hands. So the referee's discussing. And they're still discussing. One referee's pointing at Burns. The referee's pointing. They're still talking. Illegal man downfield against RS Central is the call, and they're going to back them up 5 more.
Wow.
Now it's probably about 2nd and Henrietta, as they're way back there now.
They're not really saying on the scoreboard with the distance, but
Yeah, they haven't been doing that for us.
you're looking at least
But
30
eyeballing
yards.
it, they're at the 25, and they've got to get all the way across midfield. So I've got this at, they're at the 23. They got to get 27. They got to get 30 yards for a first down. Almost 30 yards. And the referees are talking about it again.
Well, this is a situation. If you're Burns, you just want to keep them in front and not give up a big play.
I mean, what's the discussion about? I mean, it's just,
Not sure.
they called an illegal man downfield, which kind of surprised me because the play didn't take that long to develop. Usually an illegal man downfield is where the quarterback scrambles a little bit and you have one of those linemen that are too far downfield, then he throws the football. But, that wasn't the case on that play. But anyway, I think they've got it straightened out, I think. And here comes TJ after Waddell again. Somebody hit him, and down he goes again. And RS Central has thrown it into reverse, and they're backing up quickly.
That was Miguel Burris on the sack. There's 2 or 3 Bulldog guys in the backfield. Either one of them could have brought him down. I think Miguel actually is the one that got to him.
So it's about 3rd and Cliffside. So we're going to keep moving this backwards.
It's like about 3rd and 35.
3rd and 32.
Something like that.
Don't know what's in the playbook for RS Central for 3rd and 32, but looks like they want to throw it again for some reason. Seems like every time they throw it, they get sacked. And Burns defenders licking their chops, and Waddell screens. Oh, should have been intercepted. It was off the hands of B.J. Hopper, who was thinking about 6. It falls harmlessly incomplete, but RS Central goes backwards, and now they're going to punt the football.
I tell you, I think what happened there, T.J. Roberts and Hopper got there about the same time, and I think they actually might have interfered with each other in getting the interception. But
so there's the punt, and Hopper again, the ball's on the ground. It's still on the ground. BJ's got it. It's on the ground again, and Central's got it. They pick up the fumble, and they're going to rumble all the way inside the 10-yard line. So a big play as Hopper bobbled it. Pryor bobbled it. Hopper picked it up, tried to run, fumbled it. RS Central's in business now inside the 10.
I tell you what, Pryor, I think the ball hit him in his helmet and actually bounced off. Hopper tried to catch it off the tip, and he bobbled it. And then by that time, our RS Central defender was there, was able to knock it free and fall on it and come up with the ball and run with it. So
a couple of
very wild play there.
Couple of costly turnovers for Burns. An interception killed a drive, and now a fumble puts RS Central in scoring position. And got to look over here to see the clock. 4:09 left on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard in the second quarter. We've got no score, but RS Central trying to take advantage of a huge opportunity here. They're under center. So Waddell is going to hand it straight ahead, and breaking free was number 2 momentarily. He's pulled down at the 5, gain of 3.
Tyrese Tate on the carry for RS. And a good run by him of getting down within the 5-yard line. So we're seeing turnovers issue here tonight with Burns, as we got two key turnovers. This one has resulted in great field position for RS Central.
Yeah, the previous 4 possessions, all punts. Now RS Central with a golden opportunity to seize momentum, and Waddell's looking for a crease, and he's going to be stood up at about the 2-yard line. So that ball's ripped out of there by Lattimore, but not until after Waddell had been stopped. And where are they marking that football?
It was all the way the 2-yard line.
The 2-yard line. So you got to think RS Central's going to take 2 cracks at it here. So it's time for the Burns defense to stand tall and try to get this football back. Burns trying to battle some injuries there. with Aaron Hill out and their offense sputtering off and on, they need a big play from their defense.
It's like RS Central is going to call a timeout and talk about it.
And that makes sense, so we're going to take a timeout with them. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. We've got 3 minutes, 3 seconds left to go in the second quarter. It's 0-0, but RS Central knocking on the door. As always, you're listening to Burns High School football, brought to you by the Renato Auto Mall.
Want to cut your heating and cooling costs? With a high-efficient York heating or air conditioning system, you can save up to 50% on energy costs while enjoying more consistent temperatures throughout your home. Call Settle Heating and Air, your local York dealer, 704-481-1788, and schedule a free evaluation of your system and learn how you can move up to a new level of comfort and efficiency. Settle in with comfort with York and Settle Heating and Air. Online at settleinwithcomfort.com.
We're back. You see the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. 3 minutes, 3 seconds left to go. 0-0, but RS Central with 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. After the fumbled punt was scooped up by RS Central and run inside the 10. A couple of running plays have got it from the 8 to the 2. And RS Central calls timeout to talk about it. And I expect to see a straight-ahead run here from Central. So Waddell's in the shotgun. He's got it. He's going to take off and try to run it in. And he's in.
Touchdown.
That's going to be a touchdown for RS Central. After an 8-yard drive, Waddell with a 2-yard run.
Yeah, it was good job of blocking by the RS Central offensive line. Was able to free him up, get him just enough yards for the touchdown.
So RS Central, who owns wins over Burns in 2014 and 2015, trying to make it 3 in a row for the conference realignment. And it looks like we got number 18 on to try the extra point, and it's up. Looks good. Got a good foot into it. So Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, 7-0 RS Central. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Burns High School football, brought to you by the Renato Auto Mall.
The easiest way home is with Homestar Financial Corporation in Shelby. Bob Webb invites you to come in and talk with one of their financial specialists about your new home, from conventional loans to FHA to VA and to USDA. And all loan programs are available to qualified buyers. Homestar Financial manages the entire mortgage process with outstanding customer service that produces a high level of customer satisfaction. Find out more today. Visit Homestar Financial Corporation, 306 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, or call 704-482-2588.
We're back. A 2-yard Waddell touchdown run has put up RS Central. They're up 7-0 as we're closing in on halftime. 2 minutes, 58 seconds left to go on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. Burns desperately in need of getting something going here. And the kickoff's a little squibber. It's going to be picked up about the 20. Hopper looking to atone for his mistake. And he's going to take it out to about the 38-yard line. So Burns, not quite desperation time, but they need to cash in on one of these drives, Matthew.
Well, like you said, they need to get something going. They need to get the ball downfield, give themselves some confidence so they can do that. And, you know, we need some big plays here. It's not, like I said, not desperation, but we need to get something going.
I assume that's Miguel Burris in there, and he's going to bull ahead. Wow. Dragging some tacklers with him for about a 7-yard gain.
Well, I think he's trying to bring Miguel in to get a little spark for this offense. He's definitely a workhorse, and when healthy, he's as good as anybody out there, so good as anybody in the conference.
6-yard gain on first down, and officials timeout for, we're not really sure. Big 73 coming on for RS Central. Maybe an equipment issue there for number 32 for RS, 72 for RS Central. So 2nd and 4, and Barbie's going to give it to Burris again, who's not going anywhere. He lost about 3 that time. So it's going to bring up a critical 3rd down here for Burns, down 7-0, and really losing all the momentum in this game. They need to get it back, convert this thing. So 3rd and 6. Barbie in the shotgun with 4 wide receivers, and he's looking to throw. He's got time. He fires, and it's dropped. Raheem Epps dropped the football.
Hit him right in the numbers.
And it seems like some of the Burns receivers have had a bit of the dropsies tonight.
You know, see a little bit of jitters for the Bulldogs here tonight. Several drop passes. You know, a drop punt. You reckon this bowls over from the Crest game? I think it may have thrown their confidence off a little bit. May have threw them off their game.
So last time the Burns has touched the football, they've got an interception, a fumble, and a 3-and-out. And that is not going to make the coaching staff very happy. So on 4th and about 6, Austin Edwards going to get his foot into the ball. Pretty good kick's going to come down about the 28. RS Central return man's got a little room to the left side. And good block, and there's a block in the back on Keith Irvin. Where's the flag? Holy cow, Keith Irvin got hit right between the 1 and the 8 in the back. And he's jawing with some of the RS Central players there, but I'm not sure how that didn't get called.
I'll tell you what, Zion Carson just laid a smackdown on Hunter Connor. And Hunter Connor is still down for the Bulldogs.
Boy, I thought it was pretty obvious that Keith Irvin got clipped. And Hunter Connor's down, so we're going to step away. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. We got 1:40 left in the second quarter. It's 7-0 RS Central. We'll be right back.
Get the cutting edge. Get the commercial grade with Kubota's new Z700 series commercial zero turn mower that raises the bar for quality, durability, precision, and all-around value from Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. No other mower in its class even comes close. Cut with the best. Cut with the Kubota Z700 with a comprehensive 2-year warranty. See Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain. Ask for the new Kubota Z700.
All right. Hunter Connor's okay after the big hit, but RS Central in plus territory looking to add to their 7-0 lead. The Burns defensive front needs to dig in here and get a stop. And Waddell's going to try to throw it, and he's got a man open who's got the ball at about the 25, sheds a tackle, and he's to the 10, he's to the 5, and in for a touchdown. So it looks like number 2 is going to take it in.
That's Tyrese Tate for RS Central. Had 2 steps on Epps, and
for a 47-yard touchdown.
Epps missed a tackle and was able to get it free for the touchdown. A nifty little run after the catch as well for Tate. And this RS Central offense is clicking pretty good right now. Was able to take advantage of some good field percentage and some turnovers, and they've put 2 touchdowns on the board so far.
Yeah, the turnovers have had a huge impact on this game. As RS Central able to cash in on the fumble, then their defense steps up, get a 3-and-out, extra point good. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard with a little over a minute to go in the second quarter. It's 14-0 RS Central. We'll be right back.
It's the end of the season tire blowout sale at Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia. Michelin Pilot Power tires start at $99.99 and Continental Motion tires start at $75. Plus, get into the season deals on the remaining Yamaha watercraft. Plus, great motorcycle deals like a 2015 Yamaha R3 for $49.90 and the new 2015 Yamaha FZ6R for $69.89. Full Throttle Power Sports, exit 22 of I-85 at 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
We're back. The Tate 47-yard touchdown reception. As we said, RS Central doesn't throw it much, but Tate had to step on Epps and then took it the rest of the way. 14-0 RS Central, so Burns in some trouble on the road. They've had the ball in the red zone a couple times and just haven't come away with anything. There's another squid kick, and it's going to be Irvin who picks it up and sheds a tackle, makes another man miss, and he's about to the 38-yard line. Where it'll be 1st and 10, and working with about 1:19. Burns looking for a big play to get themselves back in this ball game.
Well, Burns needs to show that they can get the ball downfield. They need to get some confidence, and they need to hold on to the ball. They definitely don't need to turn it over in this situation, but we need to get some kind of spark going into the locker room at halftime. Even if we don't score, if we can just at least get a decent drive going, that would give them a little bit of confidence going into the second half.
It's been pretty tough sledding for the Burns offense so far. Triple wide receivers left. And Barbie's going to take the snap, and he's going to roll to his left. And he's going to look, and he's going to throw it up. And he's got Epps out there who reached up and caught the football.
Great
First
job.
down for Burns. It's going to move it all the way up to the 33-yard line, as that's a big play that you mentioned that we needed. Epps with a big reception there for Burns.
We all mentioned before, look for Epps on a jump ball situation, and that kind of pretty much what that was.
So
And
that quickly flips the field. Triple wide receiver is right. Burns moving quickly. And Barbie's going to put it up again, and the ball's a little low, but caught by B.J. Hopper, who fights for maybe 2 yards. Might be a good time for a timeout for Coach Devine. And that's what they're going to do. There's going to be a timeout. So we'll take a timeout with them. It's going to bring up about 2nd and maybe 8 or 9. We're going to step away. Are they taking a timeout? The referee is signaling timeout. And now he says the Burns players are warning. So timeout Burns. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. A little less than a minute left. It's 14-0 RS Central. We'll be right back.
Hendrick's Mattress Center and Hendrick Appliance in Shelby are now under one big roof. Come see the new showroom and save thousands of dollars on selected units. Now is the time to buy. Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center is overstocked. You'll find special prices on closeouts and many one-of-a-kind items. Save on headboards, pillows, and sheets. Come in now and see the selection and save big at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center. Now all under one big roof at 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
We're back. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard's got RS Central ahead, 14-0. 1 minute left to go, exactly. And Burns with 2nd and 6 after a back-to-back completions. One a long one to jump ball to Epps, who used all of his 6'3" frame to get it. And now Barbie's back, and he's got time, and he's got a man, and he overshot him. He had Epps open for a touchdown and maybe threw it about 2 yards too long, Matthew.
Yeah, Epps is a tall guy and got a big wingspan, but he couldn't get a hold of that one. Sailed a little bit over his head.
So the good, it only took about 5 seconds. The bad is now you're at 3rd and 5, and I'm sure Coach Devine's going to take 2 cracks at it from here. So Barbie's getting them lined up. C.J. Hopper's with him. Tom's out to the right. Triple wide receivers to the left. Barbie's got it, and he's looking to his left, and he undershot the man. Short opposite to B.J. Hopper, which is going to bring up 4th and 6. Excuse me. About 4th and 5. So after a couple of nice pass receptions, now Burns in a hole.
Yeah, the ball was just a little bit underthrown to Hopper. Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field and go for this 4th down.
Definitely. Ball just inside the 30. Call it maybe the 29. And this is critical for Burns. 4th and 5. They're 0 for 2 on 4th down so far today. And they try to get Central to jump. That doesn't work. They're down to 6 on the play clock. Now Barbie's got it. And he's stepping up. He's got a man. He overshot him. He overthrew Pryor, who was open, threw it over his head. And Burns' offense a little out of sync today, Matthew.
Well, in Barbie's defense, he did have a little heat on a play from the Hilltopper defensive front. Had some pressure, may have influenced his throw a little bit, but
it looks like Skylar Mosteller, Austin Birch, Jacob Carpenter, some of them big guys up front. Noah Sanders doing a good job, giving him some time, but unable to connect on a couple of open receivers. And RS Central is going to run this ball, and they're content. They're very content to run this clock out. It's down to 39, 38 seconds. And RS Central will have to maybe run one more play if they want. Yeah, looks like they're going to have to snap it one more time, as it's 20, No, they won't. They don't start the play clock, or I don't see the play clock moving. So if RS Central doesn't have to run a play, it looks like they're just standing there. So that's going to bring it down to halftime. So that's where we're going. We're going to take a break, give you some messages from our sponsors. Not a good half for the Bulldogs as they find themselves down on the road in a critical SMAC conference game, 14-0. We'll be right back. As always, you're listening to Burns High School football, brought to you by the Bernardo Auto Mall.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look. CK, DK, DS, Macron. Oh, yes, I've